And welcome back. Sorry for that brief interruption. Had to make more space on my phone as always. But like I was saying, this is all we got, really, at the end of the day. And now, I'm gonna get a little daredevilish now and walk over this little sulfur creek. You'll notice the smell always when you're coming into and leaving Nanticoke. This kind of funky smell. Well, it's sulfur in the water, or so I've been told, and that's what gives it that orangish tint to it. But again, I can't stress this enough. This is all we've got, people. I mean, if going to the movies or the mall or just partaking in consumer America isn't your deal, that doesn't do it for you, where else do you have, really? I mean, even the public parks today are pretty much, government-owned, federally surveillanced. You got rules for the public parks, which I'm not against all rules, but some of them are ridiculous. Security cameras everywhere. Even when you go to a public park or a monument, you feel uncomfortable because before you know it, you got people driving by, staring at you, cops, security, what have you. It's like, what is ours anymore? What is truly ours? The answer is actually, frighteningly, nothing. The older you get, and if you haven't just a half a brain, I think, you'll see that really, we have nothing. Even those who own a car or own a home or think they own a car or a home, they don't really own it because they continually have to pay on it month after month, year after year. Your home and your car really isn't your home or your car. If the government found some sort of oil or mineral underneath your home, or I mean, they could tell you to leave. And there's little or nothing you could do about it. If the law enforcement wanted to kick in your door one day and maybe they were in the wrong about it, you'd have a hard time winning that case. I mean, it's our homes aren't our homes anymore, and our property isn't our property, and we're almost not allowed anywhere. Everywhere you go is a no trespassing, or or you're just being watched the whole time. Nothing is ours. That's the point of breaking the image. That's the point of this old valley. Is all we have left, and barely, are just the remnants of a bygone age. And I hate to say it, but even the federal government was behind the building of these railroad structures and things like that. That's why I like the cemeteries. The cemeteries will be the last stand before, I don't know if I should get into it, but before everything kind of hits the fan, that will be the last. First, the churches will go, as they already are. I mean, they're vanishing like you couldn't even believe. And they're tearing them down as they vanish too, or turning them into businesses and things like that. Colleges are buying them, taking the crosses off of them. They're erasing history, folks. That's what's going on here. And they have already stolen the last shred of dignity that we had. We have nothing. The only thing that's real right now is what I'm showing you in this video series. This is not an app. This is not digital currency. This is not finances, money that's just printed based on nothing. This is real, solid concrete and steel. Real wood. It's tangible. It's real. You can see it. You can feel it. You can walk on it. And I think that's what my little documentary and journey is about, is trying to find what's real. Because everything today, it's not real. The family has been broken. The churches are vanishing. Love is I think some people think they have love, but I think real love is very rare. And I think real faith is very rare. Like Jesus said when he comes back to the earth, he asked a question. He said, the Son of God asked a question. He said, will I find any faith when I return? And we can see why he asked that. And my question is can we find anything that's real, anything that's ours, truly ours? Can we find any freedom in this self-proclaimed land of the free? I don't think we've been free for a long time. Some people like to say we lost everything in the 50s or the 60s. Some people could take it back to the 20s. I think shortly after this country's inception, there were powers at hand that were already putting things in place. I mean, just think about Benedict Arnold. I mean, we had a Judas or a Benedict Arnold right from the start. So, and there were powers that be right from the start. I mean, it makes you wonder, were we ever really free? I think the only time we were ever really free is in the fighting for the revolution and shortly thereafter. And there might have been little bloops on the radar of freedom since, but I don't think this all started in the 20s or the 60s or even starting now. I think this has long been in the process. Things like this. No trespassing or you'll be prosecuted. What that means is that you'll be taxed or fined or imprisoned or all of the above for crossing that yellow sign because someone or some group of peoples said so. They said you can't go back there because that's where the roots are. That's what you're not supposed to know. That's the secret knowledge back there. Is that really this land is no one's. That's the secret. And the other secret is you really are free, and your freedom isn't based on government. That was the whole point of America, is that your freedom doesn't come from a government. It's not granted by a government. Actually, these signs couldn't be more un-American, because America promises me rights, that I have freedom. And it doesn't really even promise, it just proclaims a truth. And that sign says I don't have the right, I don't have the freedom to walk beyond that tree right there. Because that's where the other history is, the history that's even older than these tracks. Because down there is where the settlers were, and the Indians. You see, it's funny how they can take the land, but then nobody else can take the land. Not that I would even want to take the land, just to see the land. See, they wanted to take it. And now they've taken it again. They took the land twice. They took it from those who were here, and then they took it from their posterity, their great-great-grandchildren and their grandchildren. Well, not necessarily them, because it was still free for a time then, but the people who were descendants of them turned around and decided to basically take it from themselves and their own. They took it from their own. So, this is all we have left.